In this video, we are going to install an 8-foot high vinyl privacy fence. Now, this is not something you see every day because typically on our channel, we show you a max of 6 foot high because that is the legal limit for residential properties. However, today we are at the rear of a big commercial property. This is an up-and-coming Ford dealership currently under construction, and they desperately needed a fence along the rear of this property because, as you'll see, the old wood fence is completely falling apart. And there is a massive tree on the fence line that needs to come out because it is pushing this wood fence over, and we want to make way for this beautiful vinyl privacy fence. Now, at 8 foot high, every step of the installation is more complicated and requires more expertise. We're going to have to go deeper with every post hole. We're going to have to add double the amount of concrete that we usually do, and we're going to have to install this on ladders. Every step of the process is going to require careful and professional execution. So now let's get into this installation by ripping down the old fence and making way for this brand new, beautiful, maximum privacy vinyl fence.
This was a large fence job and it took 2 days to complete. On day one, we primarily focused on taking down the old fence, removing the big tree obstructing the fence line, and digging the post holes. We made as much progress as possible with our fence installation, but because the tree was still getting taken down in the center of the line, we were temporarily obstructed from continuing. To make good use of the time, we set our string line and marked out all of our holes going across the fence line. That way, while the crew was taking down the tree, our fence installation team could make their way down the line digging all the post holes in advance, which will make day 2 a lot smoother.
Now, for an 8 foot high fence like this, like I said before, we are going much deeper than you would see in your typical 6 foot high fence. We've got our crews working hard digging all these post holes along the fence line.
Now we are going to move on to day 2 of this operation, where we primarily focused on installing this new 8 foot high vinyl fence without any obstruction.
We are on day 2 of this 8 foot high vinyl privacy fence installation. We're going to show you the parts and procedure for installing one of these sections. Now, day 2 is going to be a much smoother day. The tree is down, the old fence is out of here. We are just installing this vinyl. We always start the sections with our bottom rail. Now, as you'll see, the bottom rail has a metal insert inside it. This will prevent the section from sagging over time. This piece of metal provides a substantial amount of strength to the section. This is imperative when you are installing a section as tall as we are, because that is a lot of weight on this rail here. So this metal will make sure that these sections stand the test of time. Now let's go ahead and begin the installation. All right, so we have this post set yesterday, so we're gonna start going off of this post. I'm going to insert the bottom rail into the hole on the post that we have set. Now, as Hersan brings the post to the post hole over here, you'll notice that this post is extremely tall. This is a 5-inch by 5-inch by 12 foot tall post. That means with every post hole that we dig, we have to go substantially deeper than we would on a typical 6 foot high fence installation. Now we install the bottom rail into this next post over here, and we're gonna get this into position. Now you see we just mixed 2 bags of Quikrete. Quikrete is a nice fast drying concrete, perfect for fence installations. Now typically when we install a 6 foot high fence like you're used to seeing on this channel, we do about 80 pounds of concrete per post. Because this fence is so tall, we are doubling that quantity. We are doing 160 pounds of concrete per post, and we're going even deeper per post hole. So now we're gonna continue assembling this section. As you'll see, we have to install this section on a ladder, so it's a little bit more awkward of a fence installation here. So we have Hersan over there. He's sliding the top rail into the post that we have set from yesterday. It's a bit awkward when you're going up this high. So we're climbing up, and Hersan is just gonna slide that on in. All right, so now we slide it into that post. Now I'm just gonna step through this section. As you'll see, the rails make up the structure and support of the section. They run horizontally along the top and the bottom. Now the boards are going to be what fill in the space and make this a maximum privacy fence. So here we have our board, and now on each end of the section we're going to put a side channel on the board. It just snaps on real easy, and that'll provide a nice flush transition between the board and the post. We can go ahead and slide these in now. These boards are tongue and groove, so they'll nice and easily insert into each other. I'm gonna get out of the way now and let the installers do their thing. All right, now we're on the final board of the section, so I'm gonna pass the side channel up to Herson. And now the final board is a little bit tricky. You kind of have to slide the top rail out a little bit to get it in there. All right, and now we're just gonna slide the top rail into this post once again. And beautiful, our section is assembled. Now, just to close this off so that top rail doesn't slip out, we're gonna put a screw into the top rail, flush up against the post. That way it's locked in there. Now, one thing I want to point out too is if you'll notice, this post is a little bit high. Whenever we're installing a vinyl fence, it's better to dig a little bit too shallow and then hit the post down after it is installed than to dig too deep and have to lift it up. When you hit the post down, you're hitting it into extremely compact ground and that post will be really stable. However, when you lift it up, the ground underneath that post will be loose and that post will eventually sink over time. So doing it this way is better. We set it a little bit high, doesn't need to be perfect yet. Then at the end of the installation, we'll hit down all the posts that are high and make it nice and even across the top. Because this fence is so high, we have a lot of room on the bottom. We have 4 feet here to go inside the ground. That way this post is really stable. A solid fence this tall is going to catch the wind. So you need to go significantly deeper with a fence this high. So we worked really hard to dig those holes, right, Freddie?
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
We do, yes.
All right, so let's get this post in that hole you dug before. Now, another thing I want you to notice is this curb that lines the rear of this commercial property here. We want the bottom rail to sit just above the curb. However, on the neighbor's side, they're gonna have a big gap underneath the fence. This fence is on the property of our customer, which is this commercial lot here. So we're not as concerned about the gap for them as we are making it aesthetically nice for our customer. However, this is something that can easily be filled in. As you see, the houses behind me are in construction. These are new builds. So they're eventually going to fill in the back anyway. So that, I just wanted to explain why there's such a big gap on the neighbor's side. Aesthetically, we are optimizing this fence for this commercial lot, for our customer here. Now, another thing I want to talk about when it comes to 8-foot high fences is that they're only legal at commercial properties, or if you're a residential property that's bordering a commercial property. For a typical residential home, if you have houses on all sides of you, the max you can go here on Long Island is 6 foot high, which is why the majority of our fence installations on this channel are between 4 and 6 foot high. However, when we do have an opportunity to work for a big commercial property like this, sometimes they want to go even taller. The neighbors are real happy about it because they don't want to see all the business going on here at the car dealership, and it just works out better for everybody. Now we're going to fill this post hole up with a substantial amount of concrete. Like I said before, we are doing double the quantity that you typically see us do in our fence installations because of how tall this fence is. All right, now we're going to move on to the next section here. Now, one thing I want to point out before we slide the rails in, we like to notch them. This is especially helpful with a fence this high because you don't have as much control when you're installing it. For example, when you're up high on the ladder putting in the boards, it's very easy if you shift something slightly for that bottom rail to pop out and then all the boards come down. This happens quite a bit when you're first installing a fence this high if you're not used to it. So notching that bottom rail before you put it in makes the setup a lot easier, because remember, it's not like your typical where you're just on the ground installing. Here we have to balance on a ladder and install. So having that extra stability with the notches helps a lot. All right, now we're gonna go put in these boards the same way we did on this side. And you guys have heard enough of me. Let's see our installers do it. All right, so now you'll see this post is real high, so we're gonna just hit it down now. Freddie's spotting him, and now you'll see this post is being hit into really compact ground. This is gonna be nice and strong. I mean, we're already about 3.5 feet deep, 160 pounds of concrete, and now an additional few inches down into ground that we didn't disturb with our digging equipment. I mean, this is a strong post, despite how tall it is off the ground. Now, this section is fully installed, so we're gonna do the same thing with this post here. We're gonna secure it with a lot of concrete, and then we're just gonna continue our way down the fence line. We still have what looks like here about 50 to 60 feet to go. So let's continue rolling with it. Before we go ahead and add all the concrete, we just put a little bit of dirt around the post and tamp that dirt nice and compact. This will hold the position of the post. That way, when we put the concrete in, the concrete dries and sets the post in the correct position. It's kind of hard to get the post perfect if you just put in wet concrete from the beginning. This layer of tamped down dirt solidifies that post's position. We make sure it's plumb, and then we add all of our concrete. All right, you see we just put some paper down so that way we don't get this brand new curb dirty with cement. Now here we go. All right, now we're going to move on and continue this fence installation that way. Now you see here I had the guys run back and grab a better ladder from the shop. You know, still a little bit awkward installing on a ladder, but this one is definitely a lot more stable than the other one we were using before. All right, at this point, the system is completely dialed in. Once you understand the layout and the order of operations, the fence really does go up fast and clean. We're going to wrap up the remaining sections, clean up the site. We're going to make sure that each one of these posts gets a cap, and then we are going to do the final product reveal, and I'll walk you through what this fence looks like when it's completely finished. At 8 feet high, everything has to be done right. The layout, the setting of the posts, the structure, the assembly, because there's no room for shortcuts. This fence came together exactly the way it should, and it's going to serve this property for a very long time. If you're considering a project like this, hopefully this gives you a clear picture of what a proper 8-foot vinyl fence installation actually looks like. Now, if you would like to go a step further and actually reach out to me so that way I could quote your fence installation, simply text or call me at the number here. That is my cell phone. I will come to your property, measure it out, and then work with you to figure out which height of vinyl fence best suits the needs of your property. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.